So, Ubisoft's latest historical fantasy is just around the corner, and to be honest, I'm excited. I've had some time with the beta, and apart from a few minor bugs, it's not bad. So, before you start decapitating noobs and chopping through waves of drones, we thought we'd tickle your pickle with 5 things you need to know about For Honor. While For Honor is a multiplayer experience at heart, it does however have a rich campaign mode to sink your teeth into. The story is said to be based in reality, so don't expect any fireball-hurling dragons or wizards to make an appearance. The story goes that after a global cataclysm, the Vikings, samurais and knights are thrust into an all-out war over land and natural resources. While the game will centre around the battle between these 3 factions, you will ultimately be facing off against the pro-war nut that is Apollyon. I'm not sure what role Apollyon will play in the story, but it seems that she'll be the game's main antagonist and is working to keep the conflict between the factions raging on. You will take control of a few different characters over the course of the campaign, and will see them storming castles and engaging in complex duels with some tough bosses to become legend. Each faction will have their own campaign missions and destinations and can be played either single player or co-op. The developers have stated that they want the campaign to feel like its own experience and can be satisfied even if you never went into the online multiplayer. I have yet to see whether the campaign will add any real depth to the game or just play it like a glorified tutorial. I guess only time will tell. Calling For Honor a hack and slash would be an insult to what Ubisoft have created here. While it does deliver a simplistic button layout, I would describe it as easy to learn but hard to master. A far cry from your typical carpal tunnel inducing button bashing crap fests that hack and slash games have become, with a few exceptions. Instead, For Honor adopts a much more calculated approach to enemy encounters, introducing the Art of Battle system. Described as more like a game of chess than an all-out brawl, this is where the game really shines. When a player is faced with a human-controlled character or one of the stronger AI-controlled characters, a duel ensues. Using the right trigger buttons as your light and heavy attacks, and the right stick to choose your weapon's attack and defense position, right, left and above, it will require patience, cunning and quick reactions to overcome the brute you're faced with. Guarding is achieved by using the left shoulder button and positioning your weapon in the same direction as your enemy. Parrying incoming attacks can also really turn the tides of the battle in your favour. Stamina plays a big part in battles, as attacks and defending will reduce your stamina meter, culminating in some really tense encounters. There will also be something called the revenge meter, which when full you will get a short boost in attack, defense and stamina. It will be interesting to see how this system progresses in the future. Whether tweaks and updates are made to improve it is hard to say. But overall, they have a fluid and adaptive system in place here, and for one, I can't wait to stick it to those Viking bastards for what they did to my ancestors. Now, you are probably already aware that you're offered 3 factions to choose from: the hearty and resilient Vikings, the quick and cunning samurai, or the noble and shiny knights. Each faction will offer a subclass of heroes to choose from: the Vikings with the raiders, warlords, berserkers and valkyries, the samurai with the kensi, shigoki, orichi or nobishi, and the knights with the warden, conquerors, peacekeepers and lawbringers. Each hero class will come with their very own battle mentality, whether that be the Vanguard class, which is a nice balance of both offense and defense, the assassins who deal less damage but are much faster, the heavies, which the name suggests are heavy and slower than the other classes but really pack a punch, or the hybrids who will utilise uncommon abilities but are a mix of the other 3 classes. Each character can also unlock feats, which are special abilities that can be used in battle, taunts, emotes and some brutal executions to choose from. There will also be an option to customise each of your chosen warriors with colours, emblems, gear and a multitude of other cosmetics. These can affect your character's stats in battle, and from what I've seen is quite in depth, so prepare to spend hours customising your chosen hero. I mean, for one, I've always dreamed of brandishing my trusty pink Viking battle axe of justice into real battle. Multiplayer is really the lifeblood of this game. Offering 5 different game modes to choose from, there's going to be no shortage of conflict to satiate that deep-seated lust for blood. Dominion is For Honor's largest mode, a 4v4 match seeing two factions facing off against each other for control of 3 zones. AI minions will fight for domination of these zones alongside you, while players are left to capture and defend these points. Bearing in mind that killing enemy soldiers will also level up your character in the match itself. Just remember, communication is key when entering this mode. You're going to want some backup when the shit hits the fan. Elimination mode is pretty self-explanatory. Wipe out the opposing team in a 4v4 matchup, a more refined experience as opposed to the chaotic majesty that Dominion brings. Allies can be revived, unless of course their head is no longer connected to their neck elimination style. The team left standing is declared the winner. Skirmish is a 4v4 matchup, killing the enemy team will earn points, essentially it's For Honor's version of a deathmatch. Brawl is a 2v2 fight to the death, killing the opposing team to win the match. Teamwork is essential in this mode, leaving it up to you and a buddy to work out the best method for chopping the enemy to pieces. Duel drops you into a one-on-one battle, best out of 5 points wins the match, and to be honest, it seems like this mode is what the game was made for, forcing you to take your time and plan accordingly. Admittedly, the full-on war is fun to be part of, but an encounter in this mode is a much more tense and rewarding experience. More of a test than skill than the other modes, it relies on your mastery of the chosen character to overcome the enemy. These 5 game modes will come with a multitude of maps specific to the mode itself, so there's going to be lots of areas and ways to dismember and dominate each other. So, a multiplayer PvP experience wouldn't be the same without a metagame to sink your teeth into, and For Honor's version is Faction Wars. Faction Wars is a persistent cross-platform reward system essentially. You begin by choosing one of 3 factions to represent. Everything you do in-game will add to that faction's overall influence and culminate in domination of territories on the in-game map. At the end of a 10-week season, the winning faction is declared the winner and will reap the best rewards. These can include in-game cosmetic items as well as gear upgrades for your character, because, you know, everybody loves shiny stuff. So that was a quick rundown of 5 things you need to know about For Honor. The game's going to be released February 14th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC. I would highly recommend picking this up when it hits shelves, as it's shaping up to be a great PvP experience. As always, like, share and subscribe, and until next time, don't do it for blood or glory, do it for honor.